Hey everybody, good morning. Good morning. Who does your graphics? Me. Captain J. I do the graphics. Anyway, good morning everybody. Aaron. Aaron. And yep, okay. CRWD, that's right there. Right there. Look where we are. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Can't make this stuff up. Look at that. Right there. I tell you what. I tell you what. Donald, Eric, Rosalind, Laura, good morning. Gary, Captain J, Pat, PT, Rosalind, glad to see you. And it took lots of people that use CrowdStrike as their whatever IT security platform having trouble today. Outages all over the place. Started like about I think 6 hours ago, right around midnight Eastern time, I guess. They pushed a bad update or a bad profile, and well, took everything, kind of took a lot of stuff down. Is the reports we're seeing all over the place? Airlines having to take down stuff. Southwest reporting they're not unaffected. I guess their system still runs Microsoft DOS or whatever. Anyway, welcome everybody. It's not really damaged. It's just can't connect to the system, and they've already pushed a fix. It's just going to take a while to reboot everything. Not everything is remotely rebootable, so that's a pain. That's a pain. Merle, Rochelle, Mark, Carlos, good to see you. Kevin Marizio, Jim, Pat, Brian, glad to see everybody. Dan, Rex, The Last Warrior, Rob, Joseph. If you want to chat with me, like all these people saying, hey, good morning, click the button over here. Well, let me jump over here. Click the button over here where the monster can is, where my peach, delicious peach monster is. And be a subscriber on the channel. A few seconds later, you can chat. And if you're tuning in later when I'm no longer live, well, this is live at 9:15 in the morning here on Eastern time. If you're tuning in later in the day when I'm no longer live, catching the replay, you'll have to leave a comment down below if you want to say something to me or ask me a question. Do my best to get back to everybody. And if you got feedback, good or bad, you can leave it. You know, somebody 2 days ago, not yesterday, but the day before, pretty much flamed me a little bit on my content. But hey, I'm not sure what's up, but hey, I appreciate the comments, good and bad. I try to improve every day. So anyway, popping back over. And before we get too deep into anything, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, and entertaining. It is not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument. No stocks, no options, no bonds, no forex, no futures, no cryptos, no treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. And if you desire personal financial advice, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor, which is not what I do. I'm not telling you what to do or how to do it. Just sharing what I'm doing. I mean, if you want to come along for the ride, cool. I tend to get stuff right. I mean, the CRWD chart, did I know that they're going to have a big major problem? Not really, but here we are. Yes, indeed, you do. So, not much, as I said, not much economic news-wise. This is forexfactory.com. And today, July 19th, not a lot of stuff for the United States. That's all Canada, the Great White North, and some Australian stuff. We got some Fed members speaking coming up, starting at 10:40 and 1 o'clock. I mean, something they say can cause a little volatility to flash in the market, but looks like basically a nothing burger on that front this week. Looking into next week, we've got more big tech earnings coming up. Monday, wow. There is literally nothing on Monday. Look at that. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Like, literally, Monday is blank. Like, that's kind of wild. Anyway, Tuesday, not much. Wednesday, still not much. Get some flash manufacturing, some new home sales. We get Thursday, then. Economic news-wise, Thursday, we get some advanced GDP and durable goods. All that stuff right there. That'll probably be a little bit of market mover. Probably see some volatility. It may be up and down and then flat, but we'll see some volatility more than likely. And then on Friday, we get these consumer sentiment expectations and inflation expectations. Some personal, we get PCE right there, Powell's favorite number. Right there before the FOMC meeting that comes up on the 31st, the next week. Dun, 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 dun. So FOMC meeting right here. Coming up. Tesla earnings coming up right here. Should be interesting. Interesting indeed. All right. Everybody cool? Everybody cool on the economic news front? Let's see. I quit saying hey to everybody. Valerie, Nancy, David, Zoob. Good to see you. Diana, Rob, Cliff, Shin. I don't think I recognize your name, but welcome. Chad, Darren, JB, Anthony, Del Rio, Michael, Rongenberg. Good to see you as usual. I sent you a message on Discord. Ivan, Mary, Steve, Steven, Kimberly, my favorite subscriber, has made it into the house. And John, Jan. Welcome, everybody. So that's kind of the economic news front. That's welcoming everybody. And here we are back to CRWD, down to support. Imagine that. As Sledge says, how did you make the doors fly off of Boeing? How did you make the bad update for CRWD? I don't know. The charts sometimes prophesize which way we're going to go. That's a nice little drop there from going from 343 close yesterday right down to support. This gives an opportunity if we can hold this area, turn back higher, possibly going higher again. We'll see. This is the flush out that CRWD needed, and the market will open here in a few minutes. It's going to need to move back up through this zone right in here to signal along for the target right up here. That's a big zone of, I mean, look, they gapped up, gap down, gap down. It's not difficult. I mean, it doesn't always do the patterns and stuff. It's just pretty wild when it actually does, I guess. And Microsoft, sympathy, since a lot of systems are down, this may be indicative of a direction that we may go. I would not be surprised to see this get continuation right down in here over the coming days. We were pretty extended up here. And this one very regularly visits the roadmap line, makes an extension, visits the roadmap line, makes an extension. Probably going to visit the roadmap line again. That's kind of the way this goes. Now it could come up shy. That's pretty typical too. So, hey Joe, welcome, first timer on the stream. Welcome to the stream. Make sure you say hey to Joe. Make sure he feels welcome. And this is one big happy family. So, dun, dun, dun. Square wasn't on the movers list, I don't believe. What I do. So, if you're unfamiliar with how this works, what I do is I go to Market Chameleon, and the link is in the links for stuff. I think it's in the links for stuff. Yeah, links for stuff in Discord. Dun, 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 dun. I can just pull it over and show you. Links for stuff right here. And we jump over. I've got links for stuff all over the stuff. So my pre-market movers list right here in the links for stuff channel in Discord, right there. Market Chameleon. Pop over here. This is how I do it. And thank you. And I come down here, grab the gainers, and I sort by the size move. I grab the gainers. Everything moving about $2 or more goes on the list. Everything moving $2 or more down goes on the list. And that's the morning list every morning. Right there. Some mornings it's long, some mornings it's short. Today, kind of on the shorter side. Not really much happening. So, there you go. That's how the list gets made. If you're like, how the heck does he even know what's moving? That's how the list gets made. I do that just after 9 o'clock. So, if something starts moving between 9 And when the market opens, I don't usually catch it. So, but there you go. There you go. That's how it works. It's been a mystery. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. We'll look at that in a minute. Oh, I mean, well, we may get some softness coming into the open. So here's what we're seeing. S5FI, stocks above the 50-day moving average, came up, tried to break out, getting rejected. Still got the target down here. S5TH, which is stocks above their 200-day, came up and what do you call that? A quadruple tap at this point? Quadruple high? I don't know. That's higher high, lower high. But I don't even know if that's lower or the same. Dun, 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 dun. It's close, whatever it is. And that's still indicative of seeing a deeper go. These are just market oscillators. If you wonder what these are, right here, this is the percentage, if you will, of S&P 500 stocks above their whatever day moving average. This one's 200-day. S5FI is 50-day, and then S5TW over here is the 20-day, and we typically oscillate. We came up, came down, came up, probably come down. So watch out. This is kind of a warning, you know. If you want to know if you should be booking profits, yeah. If you want to know if you should be finding trades, it's kind of the what time frame, right? This one's the fastest right here, the 20-day moving average. Stocks above the 20-day. This one's a little slower. This one can take months to possibly even years to play out. Usually just months. I mean, this one, though, we topped out up here in January. It could take us late into the year to get back down here. Then this one definitely takes multi-years. Like the last time we bottomed down here, September 22, we didn't poke out the top until March 24. And then it could be another 2 years. But we tend to go down a lot faster than we go up on this one. Yeah, back here, the last time we topped, I got to turn off Apollo. Last time we topped up here, that was in April. But the market didn't, the S&P didn't actually top out until January of 22. So this was interesting right here, is that we formed a top here, and less, what this means is less and less stocks were participating as we made the all-time high right there. It stayed until we broke out higher right over here. And that directly, like, what am I talking about? So April 22, dun, 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 April back here is where that S5TH stocks above the 200-day topped out. The market kept climbing. We topped right here, right? Then we very quickly moved down for a bottom on S5TH right here, and this happened to correspond. We made the bottom at the same time, kind of in the market, and on S5TH. We go look at it right here, October. Kind of did a double bottom thing. Yep, false start, return to the bottom, and penalty was 100 points in the S&P. And then we finally broke out higher. Right there. That was in January 24. Go back, look at S5TH. January 24. Yeah, we kind of made a high, then we pulled back, and then we went for breaking out above the 80. Now, these lines, the 20 and 80, those are my lines. Because if you look at this historically, we don't spend very much time above 80 or below 20. That's kind of a market extreme. Most of the time we spend it hanging out between 20 and 80. And you could probably do some statistics and find it, excuse me, a little closer. But, you know, those are the lines I use, 20 and 80. So probably going down eventually. Where can you find the market roadmap? So 2 ways. One, there's a easy button way in the description of the video. Just click down below. Easy button, click it, $5. Give you a masterclass, training, weekly watch list, and you get the offer to upgrade to get it for like 12 more months after that for 20 more bucks. So 25 bucks gets you like 15 months of market roadmap lists. And, then you can put it on your chart. Now, I also have Thinkorswim links and tell you how to build it on other platforms, all for that $5 price. But if you just are a DIYer, you're like, $5, that's pretty steep, Well, first off, what are you doing? Don't trade. Second off, if you're a DIYer, just go to my YouTube channel homepage. Like, just when we're done here, click my name at the bottom on, like, right down under the video, click my name on it, go to the channel homepage. There's a video there that gives you the code and kind of how to do it and kind of explains the whole setup right there on the YouTube homepage. It's like my favorite indicator or something like that. And there you go. That's 2 ways to get it. One way, no cost. It's a support resistance line is what it is. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. And I think next week I'm going to do a guest spot on, I think it's called Timing Research. And I'll probably tell everybody how it works there too. Bum, 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 bum. Look at that. Let's go check out NQ. Yep. Well, still not breaking through the 15-minute. So this is interesting, I think. Let's compare this really quickly. Now, this is a little bit higher time frame analysis here for everybody. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. Look at that. Look at that. So this high, I use the 3-point tool. If you're unfamiliar, that's this tool right here. See, it has 3 dots on it. I call it the 3-point tool. It's a fib trend line extension or something like that. Trend-based extension tool. So first point was right there. Second point was right there. Third point right there. Why these 3 points? Because that was a very clear move down. This was a very clear 3-wave up into that high. Right there, that was a 618 retrace. I'll draw that here in a second. And this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little 5th wave move in there inside that 5th wave. This is probably done, and it's probably a C wave. This is probably an A wave. This was a B. Funky B. And that's how that works. All right, this is how do I predict where these things are going? And that's getting extended. Typically we see it, more typically we see it touch the 1 or the 1.272. Sometimes when it gets a little overexcited, a little extra correction, we get the 1618. Can it extend? Oh yeah, baby, it can extend. It can keep going. Like we can go to the 272, we can go to the 372. We can keep on trucking down. It's highly possible. But finding support here is indicative that we may reverse higher. Now, what was I saying? So the A wave moved down here. That retrace hit that 618. And then we went down right there. This is not magic. There's the same patterns all the time, all different time, whatever the time frame. So why am I on the 15-minute? Because it clearly illustrates what happened here. And now, what we're looking for. Now, the thing to be cautious about. Why am I on NQ and not S&P or not Russell or not Dow? Or because it's very, very clear on the NQ chart. S&P is a little less clear. We'll go through that in a moment. But right here, this zone, where we found kind of some support and some, found a little support on the way down. It's kind of funny. This level didn't exist until we got this bottom right here. That's going to be resistance going back higher. Now, if we come up like this in the next day or 3, and then find resistance and turn down, that means that this whole move down was an A wave. This will be the B wave, and especially if it happens in 3 moves, this is important. How do you know if we're going to go down bigger? So if this move up happens like this, and then we start off and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a small move. Can be the first piece of a much bigger move. All right, everybody get how this kind of works? Maybe, sort of, kind of. It's an advanced charting stuff. This is what I sit here and do all day long. That'd be these are the levels that are important. Now, what happens if we break above this consolidation right here? We go up. Target right up there. 21,161. 21,300. Now, how do we know which way it's going? We don't until we get more clarification. So the small time frames, watching the small time frames is how I kind of keep my pulse on the market here. Right now, 1 minute, kind of, sort of trying to get going. Kind of, sort of. This is delayed data by 10 minutes. The 5-minute chart, pushing into the roadmap line. We have that resistance right there yesterday. This right here. Got to get through that. This was kind of constructive on a kind of a 5-wave up. Needed a retrace, needed continuation. Then we build that into the 15-minute. We're still below the roadmap line. We build that into the 30-minute. Roadmap line, yeah, right there. I was going to say should be right about there. And the 1 hour on up here. The 4 hour right in between. Could just be a 4-hour bounce and we go higher. Last time we did a 4-hour bounce over here back in June. Time before that, kind of had this sloppy action back here in April. And then the daily, that roadmap line is way down here. And we haven't been down to visit that in a few days. October, to be exact. All right, so that's NQ. Now, doing the same kind of analysis on, let's go to 15-minute right here. Not as clear, right? Not as clear. We didn't do a nice 618 bounce right there. Came up much shallower. Just hit the roadmap line and plummeted out right there. And this was a lot clearer on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. A lot more clear on that last move. So the 3 moves on this one, first move down, that retrace, and that move down. That's the 3 waves so far. It's probably just an A wave. Now, could we extend this? Absolutely. Absolutely. We can extend this baby on down in here. This is not as proportional as NQ. Right there. Didn't really hit those crazy extensions. Now, on different charts, I got different extensions here, but not as clean at this point, unfortunately. So what this kind of means is we've got resistance right there where the market found resistance and turned down. And that fib line didn't exist before we made this low. See up here? It was up here. We turned down right there, double topped it. Now when you draw it from the high to low, boom, it's right there. It's kind of weird how this works. And my term trading line people have said that over and over. Like once you get the full move, it's weird how the market finds this intermediate support resistance at the 618, at what turns out to be the 618 to go back higher. So if we get this rally back up, watch for that level right there, 5660. And that's on ES, not on the S&P 500 actual cash index. They are slightly different. We've got 84 and 48, so roughly 35 points difference. And that can either lead to a breakout higher or a breakdown lower. Same as the NQ, just a little less clear, a little less proportional, and a little less awesome. Little less awesome. But this can easily result in this whole move echoing off of this high, and we see prices down here at 5,500, 54.70, and where did JT say 54.50 was a kind of a key level in here, so watch out for that 54.50, dun, 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 dun. Especially on the cash. Especially on the cash. Right over here, 54.50. That's where I've got my line, my alert right there. That alert. If we break that, odds are we might be tipping the scales, unless it's a spike reverse. Like we can spike down through it and reverse. That's okay. But if we get any kind of sustained move below that low, watch out for a return to the daily roadmap line, which would be all the way down here at this point at 5,100. And then we could break lower if this thing goes on a prolonged correction, similar to what we saw back here. Well, where is it? Back here in July to October last year. There we go. Get the right one. July to October. That could take us right down here, 49, right at 5,000 basically. If we do that prolonged correction, it can take us through October. Be careful. We could be doing that. There will be bumps and humps and stuff along the way if we're going to do a longer duration correction. And be careful, we could lead to a bigger correction. And I'll be talking about that at 1 o'clock. So, dun, 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 dun. If you want an invitation to that, you can see Discord or Telegram, or may find the link really quickly, and I'll throw it out here for everybody. Right here. Link's in the description. Forgot that. But here's the link for my 1 o'clock thing right there. Warning of the bigger correction. All right. Moving on. Russell. I'm outlining everything right now because this is very, like, we're in a potential turning point in the market. And I said Russell was likely to retrace most, if not all of this move up right here. Imagine that. Watch out. Support right here. That was a 3-wave move up. Low, 1, 2, 3, right into the 1272. Stopped. Turning down. I don't know if I got that exactly right. I missed slightly. Still the same vicinity. Right back to the roadmap line. Watch out. If that breaks, we can go on a big extended detour down because this is part of a larger set of corrective price action right here. That low was the low right now. That move up, just kind of 3-wavy right now. 3 waves made up of 3 waves. Be careful out there. And dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So I'm looking for stuff making money, not just doing analysis. Oil, look at that. We're coming down to the roadmap line. I thought that faked me out a little bit. Not gonna lie. I put on a starter position on oil long. Rejected that. Now we've got a little downtrend of highs. 1, 2, 3. Want to see this turn, break out above this downtrend. We're probably heading up to 90, and then 105 above that. So am I closing my position? No, it's still within the parameters. I just got a starter position. I put a little exposure on just in case that just broke out and went. Gold, looked at, turned down from that 100% extension. That is not what I wanted to see. Not at all. Now we got to flip this trend line around. I'm pushing back into that consolidation there. That low 2.2 One that low, that high. Support is right here. If we get below that, roadmap line 2200. Lower low. Watch out. That's a 3-wave move. Not really what I wanted to see at all. Not at all. Now this is, very classically we see this pop up, retrace, hold a 618 and go higher, but less awesome that we, especially like the thing that's got me very concerned about this is we stopped at this point. If we had gone to here, it was better. Much, much better. Like that could be more of a coin flip. This is more of a, this is a target we hit more often when we're doing corrective type things. And it may have been a little overzealous on the upside, and then we correct this back down to a lower low right there. Not so awesome. And another chart indicative of not being so awesome. Look at this. Silver couldn't break higher. Like we did not break higher than that up there. We made this kind of like triple top situation, and we may echo that move right off of there, right down in here on silver. That's kind of, yeah, right in there. That's what it looks like we're going to do. Couldn't get the breakout. Anyway. And moving on. Bitcoin is really trying to hold this breakout. Really holding on to it so far. I'd love to see that big move up. Looks like we're going to get the spot ETFs next week. Potentially is a really important place on Ethereum. If we can break above that 618 level. Boom, right up there. 5,400. And when we zoom out and look at the bigger pattern, we're already above the 618. We're already consolidating. So a breakout here indicates we're probably going cruising on up to these kind of levels. Possibly that 13,000 up there. Dollar broke down, retesting from the bottom. If we hold resistance at the roadmap line, probably going on down right there. If we can break above, we'll see. We'll see. Unclear. Still, I mean, this has been pretty much just a choppy inside watermelon seed squeeze bullcrap pattern for a long time now. I do expect it to do a final flush out eventually. Kind of doing this, and we've got these lower highs, so we're just squeezing the dollar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ugh. May rally back up to here again and then break down. That move came into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. May rally up here and then fail out. Probably going to the mid-90s eventually. Could take another year, 2 years. I don't know. We'll see how long that takes. CRWD. Yeah, look at that. If that turns back higher, watch out for the rally on up. Won't matter. MSFT recovering very nicely. Is bad. I mean, that could be all the correction. It could be just a lower time frame bounce. Could be just a 4-hour bounce and we go higher. Break up above 54. 454. Say the numbers in the right order. 454 can lead to 473, 478, possibly 491. We're going to turn it and burn it here for Microsoft. That does have earnings coming up all the way out on the 30th. Not the next week, but the week after. Netflix. Man, it's got more volatility after the open here than it had before. Like that can... So if we get the 4-hour close above the 618 level, indicates that we may. So we're gonna have to get a 4-hour close above the 676 level. Indicates we're probably going cruising on up to 707, possibly 715, which would break us out finally to all new all-time highs. We have not made new all-time highs on Netflix yet. ISRG, talk about a popper. Nice move up. Look at that bounce. 4-hour bounce, basically. Pretty darn close. That's probably already played out. Yep. Watch out for another retrace. That's sometimes they go super fast. Didn't even give you an opportunity. The entry and exit all in one candle there. And it's kind of the way that goes sometimes. Hunting the next opportunity. Lily, there's another 4-hour bounce. This one. Now that you got to be careful on 4-hour bounces because they can develop into bigger retraces down to the daily. PANW. I am still long this. We're still finding lots of resistance here. I want to see this break above and get on up to the 400 target up here. I bought at 300, bought shares. I have like 5 whole shares, but that's a significant chunk of money. Like, it does not take a lot of shares. All right. People constantly, I hear it constantly. Can't make any money trading shares. You absolutely can. You just have to have patience and discipline. I designed a whole system around just trading shares. And it's this system right here, the Apollo. Hadn't refreshed this page in a couple days. Right there you go. Right there you go. This baby right here. This thing designed around trading shares. It's taken a few losses on this correction thing, but it just pumps out trades and pumps out high probability trades. These same setups right here on a 30-minute time frame. They usually last about 3 days. And they play out. Hurricane Electric, Hawaiian Electric, getting a nice little pop. Still has that giant from the fires, that giant gap down. That'll be resistance. Be bag holders. And I don't know. I wouldn't mess with it yet. It's not my kind of. I'm not hunting for a trade on that one. Just don't like certain chart patterns. And ARM, probably going to retrace. No opportunity for me. NVO. Oh, look at that. Right back down. I would like that even better if we actually fully touched. Haven't been there. Gosh, man. How long has this been? Good look. Wow. Yeah, last time we were down was in October of 22 when the market bottomed out. And it hasn't revisited the roadmap line since then. So this be a caution. Like, if we break below this consolidation here, this could go in a little deeper correction. I really want to see this hold here and go higher if it's going to go. No reason to think it's not. I mean, GLP-1 drugs is like a giant paradigm shift in the market. Coin. I did place a trade based on coin, and I posted it in Crypto Power Plays. Looks like we may get the extension. Targets up there, 300, 311, 353, right in that resistance. Right there. TRV. Penalty. Return to start. Back to the roadmap line. Rejected off that. That's why I'm so cautious about making sure we get that close above that 618 level. Gotta get it. Return. This is still set up to go higher. Draw the other fib line. That high, that low. Yep, right in there. 237-ish. Still set to go. We break above this, and the problem over here was the gap down. This is always a cautionary thing. We rejected that gap right there. Tried to break, rejected. Now it sets up like a mini inside secondary bounce thing. Could see that pop up. Retrace again before we get on up to the 237 area. Right there. AVGO. And it's probably coming down. Probably gonna do it. It could just be a 4-hour. Could just be a 4-hour, but looks better if we come on down to the daily. But anyway, serve. I wouldn't touch that. Nope. Nope. It's a low price stuff. Like there's 4 things that don't follow my patterns all the time. One being low price stuff, and that has to do with equities under $10. Doesn't flow into cryptos or forex or anything else. It's just equities under $10. Don't typically follow my patterns for whatever reason. Then the other 3 things would be China stuff, leverage stuff, biotechs. So that's the 4 things I tend to stay away from. Stove is hot. All right, at least be extremely cautious on. Workday, I was getting this is decliners is the stuff that was on the biggest downside list, moving $2 or more down. Workday probably coming on down. And it looks like we mostly completed a potential upside there. We want to see this move back down in this area, hold support, and then turn higher again. ALV, Autolu. Didn't do that. Doing the bigger retrace. That high, that low, that high. Coming back down, probably go revisit this area right here. AXP reached for the sky, 1618, and probably going to retrace back to the roadmap line, if not back to the breakout. That breakout right there, broke out, 1618 extension, roadmap line if we're going to continue, or come back, retest that, hold that if we're going to continue, or if we retrace deeper. So that's the levels to be watching. So it'd be this level, which looks like the roadmap line will be right in there. Then this level, and then this level, and then watch out below that if we keep breaking down. CMA. Just a big inside, choppy sideways, hot mess of chart. I'm not even gonna spend any time messing with that because that just looks so nasty. Turn down right at the gap down right there. GLD, as mentioned a minute ago, if we can possibly, I've removed that price target off there a few times. This is a cautionary chart at this point, very much like gold. I mean, this is basically gold, just put into an ETF. So we went from this low to that high. Watch out for the retrace back down here. Support in this area if we're going to go higher. Cautious. Now we could easily go higher. I mean, there's the upside targets right there. For now, 231, 236. What time frame? Maybe like September, October. Amazon coming back down pretty strong. They had like the biggest Prime Day ever. I guess consumer not too weak, but not spending money at restaurants. Restaurants like I guess food just gotten ridiculous. But watching for that right there. Not far to go now. APTV coming on down. That looks like a hot mess of garbage. Watch for that support right there. Be a measured bounce if we can get it. And AGQ Coming back down to the roadmap line pretty swiftly here. Kind of want to see that touch. Then it sets up the next move. Potentially right up in this area right here. There's a brand new one on SU. That high, that low. Breaking above looks like 39.37. Check the list. And 39.36, pretty close. My sloppy charting off a penny. So there you go. That's move on SU. All right, bias for the day. For those of you still left hanging out with me, remember, if I said anything that you liked, that you never heard before, that was informational, helpful, beneficial, anything, give me a thumbs up. Give me interact with the video. Share with a friend. If that's what you want to do. 30-minute on S&P. If we break above that 568, 5168. Look at that gap down, though. Whew. Gap down's resistance. Be careful. That's why I look at the futures chart a lot. A little more clear sometimes. This right here can result in a turn down on another leg. Be careful. I say be careful a lot because, well, if you're not being careful with your money, what the fudge are you doing out there, right? Nobody's watching out for your money but you. I mean, even if you hire a financial advisor, they don't really care about your money. I guarantee you, nobody cares about your money more than you do. If you don't have a vested interest in keeping your money and making more of it, nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody else is going to do it for you. The government sure doesn't give a crap about your money. And be careful out there. All right. Watch out for this level. I mean, look at that. Look at that double top right there. Watch out for that level right there on the S&P. That level is important. If we can get above it, probably going up here. If we don't, if we come up here and we reject off of it, probably coming down here. That's right where the 5450 is, right there. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Be safe out there. I'll see you at 1 p.m. if you want to come to my warning. Links in the description down below. Links in the chat already. 1 p.m. Eastern time on Zoom. And I'll throw it in Discord and I'll throw it in Telegram. I'll throw it everywhere. But otherwise, I'll see you Monday. Same bad time, same bad channel, right here on YouTube, 9:15 before the market opens, Eastern time. Always Eastern time.